For reasons that will become clear, this video needs to go up on the 4th of November, which means that I'm filming this on the 3rd of November, so forgive me if I'm a little bit anxious throughout. The election is really quite stressful, and I'm not one of those people that can just distract myself, and no, I'm like fully involved and I'm very anxious and just waiting for the results to come in with the full knowledge that I can't really do anything to help. I'm not American, I can't vote, I can't do anything, I just have to sit and wait. That's quite stressful, so I apologise if that seeps through in today's video. But before we get into the video, I want to quickly talk about something that is quite close to my heart. I know that spooky season is over now, and a lot of people have moved on and are now prepping for Christmas, and fair play, I love Christmas, what an iconic time of year. But if you are still in the spooky zone and want some spooky things, may I recommend Carmine. Well, Hellhued. The zine is called Hellhued, and each issue focuses on a different colour, and the first issue's colour is carmine, so carmine red, and it is a very special zine to me because it was made and edited and brought into existence by one of my best friends, B, and I'm lucky enough to be included in the lineup of incredible creative people that have contributed to the zine. So I wrote a little short story called Parasite. I had so much fun writing it, and I'm so honoured to be in such good company with all of the fellow creatives in this zine. There's so many amazing illustrations, beautiful comics, beautiful poetry, fiction. It's got everything you want, so if you're still in the spooky mood and you want to maybe read something that I've written, I will leave the link to this in the description. So I mentioned that this video needs to go up on November 4th, and that is because November 4th is my channel anniversary, and in 2020 it is my 6-year Booktube YouTube anniversary. So 6 years ago today I uploaded my very first video, which I believe was an October wrap-up, and is very awkward and very not good in the slightest. It was recently my own birthday as well as my channel birthday. I just turned 23, and so obviously anniversaries, birthdays are a natural time for reflection and to reminisce on good times and all of that good stuff. And obviously being in isolation, being in imminent lockdown, I have a lot of time to sit and think and reminisce and reflect on my time on Booktube and my time on YouTube and just what I've done with my little platform that I have here. And a question that kind of keeps not plaguing me, that's very dramatic, but what I keep coming back to is, you know, I've been doing this for 6 years, right? Is it worth it? Is my channel successful? Has my channel failed? And how do I even begin to measure that? And this is going to be a very contemplative kind of discussion based video. I'm not going to be talking about any specific book, so if that's not what you signed up for, you can click out now. You don't need to stay and watch this. It's just going to be me rambling on in the way that I do, so fair play if you don't want to see that. So as it stands currently on Booktube, my channel has 124 videos and I have 637 subscribers. Now if you told little old me when I started Booktube that one day 600 people would be watching her, I don't know if she would have believed you. I don't know if she would have thought that it would be more by the end of 6 years. I don't know. I don't know what she would have thought, but I am very grateful for my little corner of the internet. And I know that everyone likes to say that numbers don't matter and all of this, but honestly, you will be hard pressed to find a booktuber who doesn't get crazy happy when they see the little number go up and crazy sad when the little number goes down. It feels shallow and wrong to say it, but of course we all care about numbers. Of course they all contribute negatively or positively to our day when those numbers fluctuate. Of course, it's natural, and I don't think it's a bad thing to say it. Especially if the numbers go down just after you've uploaded. That is a specific kind of pain that if you don't have a channel, I don't think you'll experience. It's quite crushing. It's like someone has been reminded of your face pops up in their sub box and they just go, no thanks. I choose to erase you from my life and never see anything from you again. And you know what? That's fine. Everyone has the right to subscribe and unsubscribe, but I can't deny that it hurts just a teeny tiny little bit. I've seen booktubers start their channels in lockdown and already they have 1k, 2k, 3k, or people start them and within a year they're hitting 1k and all of these amazing milestones. And I don't want to put that pressure on myself. I don't want to sit here and talk to my wonderful audience and be like, I love you guys, but like it's just not enough, you know? that's a shitty thing to do, and I don't want this video to come off like that in any way. But it can be disheartening when I've been at this for literally 6 years and I still feel very much like a little newbie in the community. And seeing those numbers fly up on other people's channel is obviously great for them, but of course there's going to be a little twinge when I've been at this for 6 years, and I was also stuck on 400 subscribers for like 3 years, and that was fully my own fault because I didn't upload regularly in that time. But it can be a little disheartening. It's like, well, I've been doing this for 6 years and it hasn't really amounted to much, and it takes up a lot of my time to come up with ideas, to edit, to film. And is it worth it? I really don't want this to come across like I'm obsessed with numbers, because honestly, if I was obsessed with numbers, I would have quit Booktube a very long time ago. So I assure you, I'm not obsessed with numbers. These are just some observations that I'm making on the anniversary of my channel. That's all this is meant to be. And sometimes, you know, when you go to other smaller booktubers' channels and you watch their content and then you go to the comment section and it's always the same sort of names popping up, and then you go to one of their videos and then their comment section is always the same few names popping up. It's a little small community of people that support each other, and that is so lovely, and Booktube is one of the best communities for that kind of stuff. But it can be quite lonely when you don't feel part of that, and I haven't ever really felt part of that on Booktube, I don't think. This is the point in my channel just now, after about 6 years of having it, where I'm starting to see regular people coming back to my content. Obviously my real life friends have always been here and have always been commenting on my content, and I'm so grateful to them. But this is the first time in my 6-year channel history where other booktubers who I watch have commented and supported me and my content, and it's lovely and it's so nice. But it did take a long time, and I don't want to sound like this bitter old woman on Booktube just like screaming into the void like, ah, nobody pays attention to me. Like, I'm not a bitter person, I'm really not. Like, this is such a petty first world problem to be talking about. But Booktube is a community that has a big reputation for being so lovely and so welcoming and so kind and so supportive, and it can be quite alienating when you don't necessarily feel the benefits of that, and you don't necessarily have people supporting your videos, and you don't necessarily see all the views that other channels of your size are getting. It can be so disheartening, and I guess I just wanted to talk about it because I want the comment section on this video to be an open space for any other booktubers to kind of vent their frustrations or even sadness or whatever you want, because it can be hard putting yourself out onto the internet every week, or sometimes multiple times a week if you're an organized wizard, which I am not. It can be so vulnerable, and it's so hard to continually share parts of yourselves and talk about things that you love, books that you love, and feel like no one cares. And looking back at my channel, I definitely know the reasons why I haven't necessarily grown as quickly as others have in the community. I never really had a regular upload schedule. I just sort of dipped in and out of YouTube when I felt like it, and that worked for me at the time because I had school, I had uni, I didn't really have the resources to really give it my full attention, so I just uploaded when I felt like it, and that made me happy, and that's what worked for me. I also never had any other bookish social media, so I didn't really interact with booktubers on Twitter, I didn't really interact on Bookstagram, but since lockdown and I've graduated university now, I decided to get a bit more into Booktube again, and I started uploading regularly, my channel started to grow, I started following booktubers on Twitter, interacting with them there. I'm still in the process of trying to start my Bookstagram. It's a lot of stop and starts with Bookstagram. I get very picky about my filters and like, is this pretty enough, because I'm silly like that. And I think that has definitely helped my channel for sure. So if you're stuck and you're like, why aren't I growing? Are my videos shit? Is it me? What's the problem? I would maybe try that. Go to Twitter, go to Instagram, have a regular upload schedule, because that really helps, I think. YouTube then knows when to boost your videos and who to show them to. I also post my new videos in a Goodreads thread, which I don't think really helps, but I'll suggest it anyway in case it works for you maybe. At first I was reluctant to make this video because, like I said, I don't want it to come across like I'm ungrateful for the audience that I do have. I don't want it to come across like I'm obsessed about numbers. I don't want it to come across like, you know, I'm only here to grow my audience and, you know, make a quick check. Like, if I wanted any of that stuff, I wouldn't still be here, and I just want to reiterate that because I really wouldn't, because I have not seen a single penny from YouTube and I don't think I ever will, and that's fine. But I guess I just wanted to make this video as a little beacon for potentially other smaller booktubers or people who have been putting themselves out into the online sphere for years and years and don't feel like they're getting any recognition or they're getting any feedback, and it can be so alienating and it can feel so lonely. And I guess I just want to make this video to say, hey, it's okay. I've been there, I'm still there, and after 6 years I'm finally starting to feel like I've built a little community here. And it took me 6 years, and that's fine because that's what worked for me. I didn't upload regularly, I wasn't doing this regularly because I didn't have the space and the time in my life to do so. But now that I do, I'm starting to see more of the benefits of being part of this community. I'm making friends with other channels and interacting with them on other social media platforms. And if you don't have the time to necessarily do that, that's okay. Like, that's fine. Just do what you can and there will be people that appreciate you. And if you feel like you haven't been getting the recognition that you deserve, please link me to your channel in the comments. Please talk to me and we can be kind of lonely-ish together, because this is what I want this video to be, is like a little beacon in the dark for people that have felt lonely or sad or discouraged. I want you to just be able to come to this video and be like, same, and we can share stories and frustrations and all of that in the comments. That's basically what I'm trying to do with this. So yeah, Booktube is great, Booktube is fun, but often it can feel like you're on the outside looking in. I had a very obvious physical representation of this when I went to Yalk and I went to the Teen Bloggers meetup, which was gorgeous. It was lovely. It was hosted by Amber, who ran a booktube channel called The Mile Long Bookshelf, and we all interacted on Twitter. It was a really lovely community, but I did feel like the people who had hosted the meetup were obviously, you know, friends and had DM'd and had had a long-standing relationship for years, and I had just kind of rocked up and I tweeted like, oh, I'll come, and it was really sweet and I got to chat to people in real life, but I still left feeling like I think everyone else is better friends with each other than I am with them, if that makes sense. And that can be a really alienating feeling and it plays out online all the time. So I just wanted to kind of, I guess, to voice that, and then if anyone else is feeling that, hopefully you feel a little bit less alone in that, because same. And I really don't want this to be like a woe is me video, because I've had some amazing support on Booktube, and some of the people that I first chatted to on Booktube are still here and still supporting my content and still chatting to me in real life. For example, Charlotte, who no longer makes videos anymore, but she's been so lovely, and we interact on Twitter all the time, and I even read a first draft of her novel, which is amazing, and gave her notes on it. We have this really cool friendship, and I've never met her, but it all started because of Booktube. There's also Char, who's lovely and amazing and comments on my videos, and we tweet each other, and I bought one of her books when she did an unhaul, so I feel like I have a piece of her library now in mine, and that is another cool thing that wouldn't have happened without Booktube. And also Brianna, who was one of the first people ever to shout me out in a video, and that warmed my heart so much to hear that, you know, she liked my channel and my content enough to encourage her viewers to like come and look at my videos. There's also Fiona at Reason Eats, who has a really lovely channel where she talks about her hobbies, what she's watching, what she's reading, what she's doing for the day. I really love watching her reading vlogs, and she comments on my videos all the time, and I always get so happy when I see notifications from her. And she's from Scotland, and every time I play one of her videos and hear her accent, it just makes me feel so calm and relaxed and at home. And there are just some really lovely bright spots on Booktube, and I don't want this video in any way to undermine that at all. I just want this video to be a celebration of how great Booktube can be, and a little reach out to any booktubers who are feeling lonely, because it happens all the time. I felt lonely so often, and I literally sometimes wake up thinking that I should just delete my whole channel, delete all of my videos, because they're all cringe and no one wants to watch them, and when I apply for jobs they're going to look at my channel and be like, this is so embarrassing. You know, everyone has days like that, and I just want this to be a space where you can talk about it without feeling guilty. But yeah, I guess I just wanted to make this video to, one, mark the milestone, mark the 6-year anniversary of my channel. 2, as a little reach out to any other small creators who are feeling lonely and alienated and disillusioned with Booktube as a community. I invite you to share your frustrations and your heartache in the comments. I would be more than happy to hear and join in with you there. And 3, if you're questioning your content, you're not alone. I feel you, I understand you, I do it every single bloody week. I question my content, I question what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, if it will be a detriment to what I want to do in the future, whatever. Your channel is always unique because you are unique, and if you feel like you're not getting the recognition that you want now, it doesn't mean you never will. I've been here for 6 years, starting my 7th year, and I've only just got happy with the content I'm making. I'm only now happy with my thumbnails. It took me 6 years to find a thumbnail style that wasn't cringe, you know? It took me 6 years to make the kind of videos that I would want to watch. I look back at some of my old videos and I'm like, oh my god, what were you thinking? This is boring, who would watch this? But now when I look at my recent uploads, I think, oh, I would really want to watch that if I hadn't made it, or like, that's a really cool video, I'm really proud of myself that I made that. So yeah, that's the kind of overall message. Just because you're not happy with where you are on Booktube right now doesn't mean you're always going to be there, and if you're not happy with your content at the moment, it can always grow and change and evolve. Everyone's journey looks different, and I know that I'm going to sound like some crackpot guru who's like, your journey is different, just trust the process, whatever, but that's essentially what I'm trying to say, is if you're upset, that if you feel lonely and disillusioned with your content and your channel, it's okay. Everyone feels like that, and your content is always going to be unique because you are. And if you love Booktube, which you probably do, otherwise you wouldn't have a channel, then just keep going. You will get the recognition and love that you deserve. It just might take a little longer than some other people. I used to be so anxious about people from school or uni or my family finding my videos, or even potential employers finding my videos and it being a problem for some reason. But now when I see my channel, that anxiety is almost completely gone. I think the content that I'm making now is reflective of the time and the effort and the care and the detail and the thought that I put into it. And if sharing my passion about books with the internet is something that someone wants to shame me for, then that sounds like a them problem, honestly. So yeah, the main message of this video is if you're sad and disillusioned with your content, keep going. It's okay, we all feel it, and please don't be afraid or embarrassed or feel guilty about reaching out, because we all hit that point and we all need to lift each other up, and that's what is the best of Booktube, when we all support each other. So yeah, keep making your content. I for one would love to see it, and I'm now going to go and sit and stress eat and wait for the US election results to come in. I hope you enjoyed this video and I didn't come off too much like a bitter old woman on Booktube, although there are worse things to be, I guess, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.